Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be using the ingredients from my balcony garden harvest. I'm also going to be showing you some other ways that I use my balcony garden harvest. So let's get into it. In my previous video, I took you on the balcony garden harvest. I had tons of peppers and tomatoes, amongst some other things. Considering this harvest was done in December, I had plenty of food, so I decided to make some chili jam. Let me just start off by saying that I am not a cooking channel, but you guys requested this, so bear with me. The setup isn't the best and the layout of the kitchen isn't the greatest, but it is what it is. Let's get started. The first thing to do is to sterilize your jars. Now you can place them in the oven, but I chose to put mine in some boiling water for at least 5 minutes. I've been working my way through the balcony garden harvest and this is what I have left. I'm going to take around about 8 of these chilies and chop them up. Now, depending on how spicy you want your chili jam to be, you can de-seed them. However, I'm going to keep the seeds in mine. I think I would prefer mine to be a little bit spicier. Now, once you've chopped up all of your chili peppers, go over them again and give them a good fine chop. And of course, be careful to not touch your eyes after touching the chilies. Then grab yourself one red pepper, de-seed it, chop it as finely as you did your chilies. The vivid red is going to really make our chili jam pop with colour. After 5 minutes or so, your jars should be done. Take them out and let them cool on a rack. Now you want to get your saucepan down to a medium temperature. You'll need 600 milliliters of apple cider vinegar and pour the whole thing in. Next, grab yourself 1 kilogram of jam sugar. Living in the city centre, it wasn't the easiest to find. I had to go to one of the bigger supermarkets in the baking section. Add your sugar to your apple cider vinegar. We're going to let it dissolve in the apple cider vinegar. However, we are not going to stir it. I repeat, do not stir your sugar whilst it is dissolving. How satisfying is that to watch? Whilst that's dissolving, grab yourself some ginger. Oh! Lord knows how long that's been in that cupboard. But you know me, that's not going to waste. I'm going to grow that. Anyway, add yourself some ginger. Once again, finely chopped. And then lastly, grab yourself some tomatoes. Now I'm using some of my leftover beefsteak tomatoes. Chop them up, once again, really finely. And once you've done that, add all of your ingredients into your food processor. Now I didn't have a food processor, so I'm going to have to do it my ratchet way. I found an old jar and I'm going to use my handheld blender and I'm just going to give everything a good blitz. And let me tell you, these chili seeds were popping at me like I don't know what. Now the idea is to create a really nice paste. So keep going and blending it down. Eventually it will look something like this. At this point you can taste your chili jam to see what the flavours are going to be like. It was at this point I questioned my decision to keep the seeds in. It was a little fiery. Alright. I was lying to myself. I needed to grab myself a glass of wine. Any old excuse. Now once your sugar's dissolved, it will look something like this. You want to bring it up to a boil and then add in your paste. Now you want to scrape in all of your mixture. Now once again, do not stir your mixture. In fact, this is almost one of those trust the process kind of things. Make sure that it's boiling violently for 10 minutes or so, and eventually you'll get a mixture that looks like this. Just look at the colour. Now you want to take it off the heat and let it cool down. Just look at this, it's like magic. The colour is so vivid and the flakes just give it some added texture. Now we're going to do the freezer test. Put a plate in the freezer and let it stay in there for a good 10 to 15 minutes or so. Then pour in some of your mixture and let it settle on that plate. This will give you an idea of whether or not it will set nicely and how it will look. For my first time making this on my own, I'm so happy with this. Look! The consistency is great. And now it's time for a little taste test. Yes! Let your jam cool down for a little bit and then ladle into your jars. If you need to, at this stage, you can turn your jars upside down to make sure that the seeds go all the way through the jar. But I was really happy with the consistency of mine. I'm going to leave these now to cool for around about 24 hours, come back tomorrow and show you what it's like. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will have solidified. Let me show you another one of my recipes. This one is my spicy salmon pasta. Almost linguine. It's not really, it's my own take on it, and it's me just using whatever I've got left in the fridge. I fried some garlic and some olive oil, added in some chorizo, some tomato and chili seeds, allowed that to cook and reduce, added in some white wine. Then I wilted down a handful of spinach, I added in some pasta water, some basil, and then topped it off with honey glazed salmon and coated it all in Parmesan cheese. It's been 24 hours. I think it's time to go and see whether or not the jam has set. I think it has. Okay, so here we are. Let's open it up. Perfect. The smell from this jar is absolutely insane. It just smells amazing. But I think it's time for the all-important taste test. So I am going to make myself a little sandwich using some of the jam and we'll see what it tastes like. Let's get going. I've got some mature cheddar cheese and then I'm going to use some of my Christmas ham. It has been boiled in Coca-Cola and glazed with honey and mustard. I've got a couple of slices here. I can't be the only person that just continuously picks at that ham. In a non-stick frying pan, I've got some butter. Whilst that's melting, I'm going to butter this slice and then start to add in my toppings. If you want more of a pull, you can use some mozzarella, but I'm just using cheese that I had in the fridge. Now I'm going to take some of my jam and spread that out onto this slice. Look at the consistency and just look at the colour. It looks awesome. Once that's done, put them together and then give it a gentle, firm squeeze and then place your sandwich into the buttery frying pan. If you have something heavy, put that onto your sandwich just to really squish it down. I didn't have anything, I just used my spatula. Leave it to cook for a few minutes, and whilst it's sizzling away, grab a knife and butter the other side of your sandwich. Once it's done, flip it over and let the other side get golden brown as well. Don't forget to squish it down and seal off that heat. After a few minutes, it's ready. Take it off and then serve it on a plate. Okay, let's cut into this and see what it looks like. The cheese is super gooey. It looks awesome. Okay, moment of truth. The flavors are so subtle, it's not overpowering at all. So you get the beautiful taste of the ham and then the sweetness from the jam, and right at the very end you get that kick from the chili. It is absolutely delicious. I'm going to leave a link to the full recipe in the description box below. And it's mind-boggling that most of those ingredients have come from this garden. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and this may be the first of some new recipe videos for me. If you want to see more videos on how I use the produce from my balcony garden, let me know in the comments below. Hopefully I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye! You guys, I've been having this chili jam with everything. I even had it with my Christmas dinner. Oh, and child, look, there was no turkey for me this year. It was lamb, gammon, pigs in blankets, and a ton of veg. So delicious. Let me know how your Christmas meals went, and if you're planning to make your own chili jam anytime soon. Cha, not me with my cracker crown on top of my bonnet. What a mess. Hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Bye.